everyone! I haven't done a reading vlog for such a long time, and I thought for this readathon, my TBR Readathon, I'm going to do one. I'm not going to be filming every single day. I'll just be filming from time to time and just kind of let you know my progress so far and everything. So it might be even once in 2 weeks or potentially once a week. But I don't know, we'll see how things go, because I won't be vlogging every day and I won't be reading as much as I would like, because I'm working full time and have other things to do as well. So yeah, today's actually day 2 of the readathon. So it is Monday the 14th and I just came home from work. So it's about 6 in the evening at the moment. And I'm just going to tell you what I started yesterday. So even though yesterday was Sunday, the first day of the readathon, I had quite a lot of things to do at home. I went for a drive because I've got my license now, and did other bits and bobs. So I only had some time to read in the evening, and I couldn't decide between the 2 books. I couldn't decide between A Court of Thorns and Roses or The Muse. But in the end I decided to go with The Muse by Jessie Burton. I only read 26 pages last night and then I went to bed because I was really tired. So hopefully I'll have more time to read this today. And also, it's not really an official part of my TBR for this readathon, but I'm listening to an audiobook which is called The Librarian of Auschwitz. I'm hoping I'm saying the name right. I'm kind of halfway through, so I listened to a little bit of that yesterday whilst cooking. I think it was just a chapter or so. It's not very much, but anyway. So my plan for today, for now, I'm going to edit my video for today, which is going to be, what is it going to be? It's going to be my this or that tag Harry Potter edition, which I'm really excited about. And then I'm going to do something else, I don't know what, and hopefully in the evening I'll have time to read more of The Muse. I don't know what I'm thinking about it yet, because literally I've read 3 chapters. It's interesting so far, but I'm only at the beginning of it. So we'll see how things go, and I will update you, I don't know, either tomorrow or Wednesday, or whenever I have anything to say much. Hello, it's me again. It is day 4, which is Wednesday of my readathon, TBR Readathon, and I can't remember when I last updated you. Basically on day 2, which was Monday, I was obviously working and finished work at 5 and then had some other things to do. So I didn't get a lot of time for reading, unfortunately. But somehow I managed to read 45 pages of The Muse anyway. And then Tuesday, day 3 of the readathon, I read 28 pages from this book, because I didn't have much time and I have swap shifts with someone at work. Usually on Tuesdays I would finish at 2, but this week I had to finish at 5, so I didn't have a lot of time to read it again, which is fine. And then today is my day off, which is usually Thursday again. Thursday is my day off normally, but this time it's Wednesday because I had to swap shifts again with someone else, swap days off rather. And it is now 5 in the afternoon and I haven't had the chance to read again, believe it or not. But then it's usually the case with me, with my days off. There's usually stuff to do and I don't actually get the chance to read a lot anyway. Basically what I've been doing today, my husband and I went to play bowling in Swindon, which is just a big city in the UK, in England. Yeah, I drove because I am enjoying driving from time to time now. Just to go for a drive, it's one of my favorite things, to put the music on and just drive and drive. I'm also getting used to his car, which is really good. It's very unusual to go and sit in a different car after you pass your exam. I found it a bit more difficult and challenging, but now I am fine with his car. Still not great at parking. I hate parking, but I'm working on it and trying my best. Sometimes it takes me like 5 times to try and park, and then I will park finally. Hate parking. And then we just ate some lunch and watched House. We just have 1 episode left to finish it. We've been watching it for absolutely ages. I think it's been about a year since we started, and it's just 1 episode left of watching that. And then also I cleaned the bathroom in the morning before we went to Swindon, And now I'm going to go and clean the kitchen. I hate cleaning, but it's just something that needs to be done. I don't even know if I will upload it in my vlog because it's nothing to do with reading, but then I don't read quite a lot anyway. So I thought maybe I should just chat about stuff and everything. Some people like such videos. If you do, let me know. If you don't, then I probably will never do reading vlogs again after this readathon. So my plan for today, I'm not going to film any more updates today. I might film one tomorrow. For now though, like I said, I'm going to clean the kitchen, then I'm going to go and plan 1 or 2 videos because I'm going to film them tomorrow, because I'm finishing work at 2, I think, maybe 3 if I feel like staying a bit longer. And then I'll go home to film some videos and edit one of them for my booktube channel. And yeah, so after my planning videos, I might be doing something else. Potentially read a little bit more from the Muse or watch some booktube. I don't know. For now I'm on page 100 and I'm enjoying it. Basically, there's an owl thing. I was reading it yesterday and then I thought at some point that it was just described really well how I feel sometimes with people. There was an urgency in Olive's body, in the movements of her hands. She reminded Teresa of a trapped animal, restless because someone had approached the bars of her cage. To be honest, that's how I sometimes feel when I am among a crowd of people or just several people around me. I don't know why, I just get anxious. I don't know if it's like proper anxiety or something, but I just don't like being surrounded by loads of people, especially I don't like having a lot of attention. Like if I'm surrounded by several people and everyone's looking at me, that makes me feel very anxious. And yes, so that perfectly describes me most of the time, even like in the shops. I don't know why, I just feel weird. If it is, I don't think it's a proper anxiety, like a, diagnosis. I don't think that's proper anxiety, but I do get really anxious when I go out and there are people everywhere. So yeah, I don't know why I'm even saying that, but anyway, I hope you enjoy this bit and I will probably see you tomorrow, and you will see me tomorrow with a different video. Hi, I am the worst at vlogging and reading this week, to be honest with you. It is day 8 of the TBR Readathon, Sunday the afternoon, and I haven't finished a single book yet. I have been reading pretty much every single day, but I haven't been reading enough to actually finish the book. And the book that I've been reading the whole week is The Muse by J.C. Burton. I read a little bit of it in the morning today, and currently I'm on page 215, so I'm almost halfway through. I still have quite a lot of things to do today. I've done already my food shopping, chose a couple of recipes from the Jamie Oliver's 5 ingredients book, because I just got tired of cooking the same food all the time, so I needed new ideas. So I just flicked through that book, chose several recipes, went to the shop, bought some bits and bobs. So I'm going to cook something from there today. If you are interested, today I'm going to do creamy mustard chicken. That's what it looks like. Potentially with some rice, because I don't think that'll be quite enough for one meal. And the other thing I'm going to do will be baked garlicky mushrooms. And that is most likely going to be with some mashed potatoes, because again, it's not really enough. And there are a couple of other recipes that I'm hopefully going to do over the next couple of days, so that will hopefully make me keep going, because for now cooking feels like a chore more than anything. So hopefully doing different recipes and actually eating tasty food will help me. So we'll see how that goes. For now I'm just going to make some videos. I did some cleaning in the morning. I did some cleaning after food shopping as well. I cleaned the shelves in the fridge because I haven't done it for ages, so it needed to be done. Then I hoovered the rooms, then I washed the floor in the kitchen, and now I'm going to film 2 videos, one for my booktube channel, a review, and another one is for my different channel, in which I'm uploading just once a week. So after I film these videos, I'm going to go and cook those 2 meals and try and eat them. And hopefully, oh yeah, whilst cleaning I also listened to a bit more of The Librarian of Auschwitz. I've been listening to it from time to time. Again, I'm not making very huge progress. I'm just roughly in the middle, going closer to the middle, but still not quite there yet. And then when I'm going to be cooking it, I will be listening to it again. So that's gonna hopefully make me accomplish something. I'm not even halfway through, but oh well. And so after I film those videos and eat and stuff, I'll probably edit one of my videos. I don't know which channel for, but I'll have to decide it. And then in the evening, hopefully before my husband comes back from work, I will have some time to read. And then when he comes back from work, I'll go for a drive on my own, completely on my own, with music on, somewhere nice, and come back. Because I really want to do this, because I've heard that it is best if you just sit in the car by yourself and just drive for the first time. Well, I mean, I've driven his car before with him, but I've never done it without him, so I think it'll be quite a good experience for me, and I'm quite excited for it. A bit nervous as well, but really excited, and that's what I've been wanting to do for quite a while now. So I'm going to do that this evening, and then hopefully after that I'll have a bit more time to read and hopefully make some progress in the muse. Finally, I am enjoying this book so far, definitely a lot more than The Miniaturist. It's definitely much more interesting, and there are 2 storylines, so I'm enjoying both of them. Not sure which one I'm enjoying the most. I think the historical part is probably the most interesting one, but I think that's usually the case for me for some reason. And I will see you at some point, maybe today, maybe tomorrow, maybe I don't know when. So yeah, I hope you are enjoying your reading, and for those of you who are participating, I hope you're accomplishing a lot more than I am. But yeah, see you later. Bye. Hi. I'm trying a vlogging style of videos for now. It really is hurting my arm, so I won't be able to do it for a very long time. But I've decided that for my reading vlogs from time to time, it's different if I do it on camera like this, because it means like I don't actually need to prepare for the video and sit up and all that kind of thing, so it's kind of more natural, if you know what I mean. So hopefully it's not too close. It is definitely hurting my arm, but I'm gonna try and do it from like that from time to time, because it's much better. But if I need to speak about something for a longer period of time, obviously I wouldn't be able to hold my camera for that long. But yeah, something different. Hopefully it will at least make my vlogs less boring, or less kind of in the same place, if you know what I mean. So yeah, see you later. So this is the first thing that I've cooked. The chicken with mushrooms and red onion and mustard and stuff, and then I also added some rice into it. So I'm going to eat that and watch one of these videos. Most likely I'm going to watch that or something else by Naomi Smart, if you know who she is. I love her videos. She's very comforting, nothing to do with books, but I just love her. I still haven't read a single page from any of the books, but whilst cooking I've been listening to The Librarian of Auschwitz, and I've listened to quite a good chunk. I'm currently on chapter 19 out of 37, I think, if that's correct. In terms of hours, I think it's about 6 or 7 hours, so I'm going very close to halfway through. But I feel like there are so many storylines in the same place that I kind of get from time to time confused and lost, so I kind of lose track of what's happening where. So I don't know if this is just me, or if that's the fact that I've been listening to this audiobook for absolutely ages. I don't know what's causing that, but I mean, I'm enjoying it still, but yeah, I'm just getting a little bit confused. Hopefully if I listen to it a lot more frequently, that will change the situation. But for now I'm just going to eat and watch that, and then there's still another meal in the oven. After that I'm going to edit one of my videos, playing with fire review, and then I'm going for a drive. So most likely I'm going to either update you in the evening or tomorrow or Tuesday, one of those days. So yeah, bye. Here's another Jamie Oliver's recipe. I think it looks great. Don't mind my fire alarm. I don't know why it's going off in the whole building, but oh well. Hi, I'm probably the worst at vlogging, but it is Thursday the 24th of May, and I'm just going to tell you what I read recently. Also, this is my first time ever wearing glasses on camera, but it is my day off, and sometimes on my day off I prefer to have a break from wearing lenses every day. I can't even remember the last day I tried to update you, but I've been not in a really reading mood recently, unfortunately, which is not great for a readathon. But luckily my readathon is a 2-month-long readathon, so I will have still plenty of time to read. But first of all, I want to tell you something exciting, at least it is really exciting for me. I subscribed to Favourite. I've wanted to subscribe to a book subscription box for absolutely ages, and now it finally happened and I'm so happy about it. I will receive my first book boxed at the end of June, which gives me time to reduce my TBR pile so that I won't be as guilty. But honestly, I just felt an urge to subscribe to it recently, yesterday, so that's what I did. Also, another update, yesterday was complete madness in the building where I live. Somehow the fire alarms all gone off and it was going on for half an hour, so it was quite loud and madness. Nothing happened, I think it was just a mistake of some sort. Someone pushed the button and then no one could turn it off, so that was madness. Considering I haven't been much of in a reading mood recently, I'm still reading The Muse by J.C. Burton, but I've spent so much time with this book that I kind of get tired of it or get bored of it or something. I'm currently on page 264 that I'm always halfway through. I mean, I'm enjoying this book a lot and I want to know how it goes, but then I've spent so much time with it that I feel like I need to read something completely different. It was on Monday that I decided to start a different book, which was The Girl of Ink and Stars by Kieran Millwood Hargrave, and that book would go towards the challenge to read a short book because it's really short. It's 215 pages or something like that, and I'm nearly halfway through. I'm on page 96 in chapter 11 and I'm enjoying it, but again, it's probably not the best book for my mood at the moment, unfortunately, so I'm kind of considering. So again, I didn't feel like reading it as much, and yesterday I started a different book, which is this tiny little poem book by Alexander Pushkin. Again, that will be for the challenge to read a book that is out of my comfort zone, because poetry is not something that I like to read or read very much. I am on page 32. It's definitely very easy to read, and I feel like I haven't read a book in Russian for absolutely ages, so I'm enjoying it. I remember reading this particular poem absolutely ages ago for school, like when I was 14 or something. That was 10 years ago, and I remember not being able to understand what was going on, not feeling very interested in it. But yesterday I was really interested in it and I thought, that's quite interesting, and it was definitely very easy to read. I don't know why, maybe I just grew up a little bit, or it's the fact that I've been mostly reading in English and reading something in Russian in the poetry. It's so easy now for me that I'm absolutely enjoying it. So I think today I will read a little bit more from it as well. But today I woke up with an urge to suddenly read Percy Jackson. So I sat there all morning reading this book, and now I'm on page 90. Absolutely enjoying it, and I feel like before then I was kind of in the reading slump or at the beginning of the reading slump, but after starting this book I feel like this is the book that will get me out of it, because I'm enjoying it so much, and I feel like I should have read it ages before because it is so interesting and so good, and I feel like I've missed it, but at the same time it reminded me of how I was reading it last summer, and I don't know, it's just brought me some memories that I enjoyed having free time during summer. Those rainy days that I was reading the first 2 books from the series and all that kind of thing, just brought me so many memories. And the book itself is really good and humorous. Again, this is the 4th book and I'm so happy that I read it. Today I'm definitely going to concentrate more on this book and potentially the poetry book as well, but I think most likely, let's face it, it's going to be this one. Another book that is worth mentioning is one of the library books, The Amber Shadows by Lucy Ripchester. I got it out of the library as well as my 2 random books, but I'm considering of giving back one of the random books that I haven't read because my readathon started and I wanted to concentrate on the books that I own. This one was just one of those books that I thought would be interesting. It is set in the period of the World War II, and there's basically this woman who works in the Bletchley Park, and then she receives a weird parcel from Russia, and She doesn't know who sent it and why they sent it, so there's kind of a mystery about it. I enjoy books set in the period of World War II, but this one, for some reason, I only read 3 chapters, and I mean, it's kind of interesting, but at the same time it doesn't really grip my attention all that much. And at the point that I am in now, which is page 55, it feels like it's going to be kind of a romance story, which is not a bad thing, but it's just not something that I'm interested in at the moment. And I thought there would be more aspects of like war and everything, but no, she works in the deciphering building, the Bletchley Park, like decoding building, and it's not much of that. Maybe it's just because I'm at the beginning, but it doesn't grip my attention, so I'm considering of not finishing it and just giving it back to the library, especially considering the fact that I can't actually renew it after the 6th of June. I'll just have to return it, and I'm not sure I will be able to finish it before the 6th of June, which is a shame, but we'll see. But again, I really enjoyed books set in the period of World War II, so it would be a shame if I DNF it, and especially considering that this has something to do with Russia. And it's interesting, the premise sounds interesting, so I don't know what to do about it. Hello, it is Sunday the 27th of May, which is the end of the first 2 weeks of the TBR Readathon, and I would say, if it was a shorter readathon, I would say I was failing, but considering it's not a 2-month-long readathon, I'm not failing, but I'm going very, very slowly through my books. So now I'm just going to tell you at the end of these 2 weeks which books I managed to start. I haven't finished a single book. I know a couple of people posted on Twitter that they finished the 3 books within these 3 weeks, and I'm like, whoops. So, the book that I started on the very first day of the readathon was The Muse by J.C. Burton, and currently I'm on page 264. I needed a break from this book, to be honest. I'm not kind of that interested in it as I was when I just started it, and I still have about 200 pages left to go. I don't actually look forward to finishing this book, to be honest with you, but then I really want to, because it's been on my TBR for quite a long time. And I'm obviously more than halfway through, so I need to finish this book. The next one that I started when I thought that I wasn't interested in the Muse anymore was The Girl of Ink and Stars by Kieran Millwood Hargrave. And I started it and I read closer to halfway through, and then I realised I wasn't interested in that again, so I was closer to being in the reading slump. Today I've been making good progress in it. I'm currently on page 138 and it is only 4:30 in the afternoon, so I've got a whole evening ahead of me to try and read it. My goal for today is to try and finish this book. I don't know if I will be able to or not, because I'm also planning to edit my video for today as well, so we'll see how it goes, but I am enjoying it more than I was when I first started reading it. The next one that kind of saved the day for me and put me out of my beginning of my reading slump, that is Percy Jackson and the Battle of the Labyrinth. At the moment I'm on page 141. I should have started reading it a lot earlier. I'm enjoying it so much more, so much that actually I probably will be reading this again tonight and tomorrow, because tomorrow is my bank holiday, so I don't need to go to work, so hopefully I'll have a lot of time to read this one and potentially just make good progress or finish it. The other book that I've started is These Poems by Alexander Pushkin. I'm currently on page 140. I've read the first poem, Ruslan and Ludmila. I enjoyed it a lot more than when I was reading it at school when I was 14 or 15. I am not even halfway through, but still it's a very short book and there aren't many poems, so it shouldn't take me a long time. Plus it's in my native language, which makes things so much more easier than reading it in English. But yes, so I'm going to end my vlog here. I'm not going to film any more updates today, so you wouldn't know how well I did on my on the last day of the 2 weeks of this vlog. Yeah, I don't know if I will be doing more vlogs because I feel like they're boring. So if you enjoy this reading vlog, which doesn't involve a lot of reading, please let me know and I will keep doing them. But if you didn't enjoy them, I probably wouldn't film them. So, because I feel like it's just boring and I don't want to post and I don't want to post boring content on my channel, so please let me know if you enjoyed it or not. I hope those of you who participate in this readathon are doing so much better than I am. I still got plenty of time obviously, and I'm very close to finishing at least 2 books. So soon it will be at least 2 books out of my TBR, and then I'll concentrate on the Muse and my poems book, and there will be 4 books out of my TBR. But that won't happen until probably the end of next week, so we'll see how that goes. I hope you enjoyed this vlog, and I might see you in the next one, or you'll see me with another video at some point soon. Thank you for watching. Bye!